When you travel, you expect to bring back some souvenirs, right? Maybe some cool local crafts, tons of photos, maybe even a new recipe you picked up. But what if you brought something back that you didn't even know was there? Something that, well, traveled back under your skin. Yeah, today we're diving into a pretty unsettling travel companion, one you definitely didn't pack in your suitcase. So picture this. You've just gotten back from an amazing trip, but a few days later, you notice this painful lump. It looks just like a boil. So you do the normal thing, you go to the doctor, maybe they give you some antibiotics, but here's the thing, it just isn't getting better. It's still sore, maybe it oozes a little bit, and if you look really close, there's a tiny little dot, a little opening right at the peak. And then you feel it. Maybe it's a sudden, sharp, stabbing pain, or even weirder, a wriggling sensation. And that's when the horrifying realization hits. This thing you thought was just a simple skin infection? It's not. It's alive. Something has literally made a home inside of you. Okay, so in this explainer, we're going to get to the bottom of this medical mystery. We'll start with that moving boil. Then we'll meet the culprit, the Tumbu fly. We'll look at its sneaky laundry day trap, see how this parasite is making its way around the world, and most importantly, we'll talk about how to get rid of it and how to make sure it never happens to you in the first place. All right, let's dive right in. The mysterious moving boil. From a doctor's perspective, what you're seeing is a furuncle. That's just the fancy medical term for a boil. It looks like one, right? A tender red lump that shows up over a few days. But this is no ordinary boil. This one, as we've established, has a very, very creepy little secret. And that secret has a name, myiasis. The official diagnosis isn't a bacterial infection at all. It's an infestation. Specifically, an infestation of your tissue by fly larvae. Maggots, basically. And this is so important because that distinction is exactly why it gets misdiagnosed so often. So if it's a fly larva, what's the fly? Well, let's meet our culprit. The species we're talking about is Cordylobia anthropophaga. And trust me, it has a lifestyle that is, well, it's fascinating, but it's also pretty horrifying. You'll hear it called a few different things: the tumbu fly, the mango fly, the pootsie fly. But what it is an obligatory parasite. Now, what does that mean? It means it has no choice. Its survival, its entire life cycle, depends on its larvae developing inside a living, breathing host. We're talking dogs, rats, and yeah, us. And just so we're crystal clear, this isn't some microscopic protozoa we're dealing with. Nope. This is a metazoan. It's a complex, multicellular organism. It's a tiny little animal that's decided to make a home under your skin. So the big question is, how does this even happen? I mean, how does a fly larva get inside you if the fly itself never even lands on you? The answer is, frankly, it's kind of brilliant in the most unsettling way possible. And it all starts with something as simple as doing your laundry. Okay, check out this strategy. The female Tumbu fly is smart. She doesn't lay her eggs on you. No, she finds damp clothes you've hung out to dry, or maybe some bedding, even soil that has a scent of urine on it. Then, when you put on that t-shirt or get into that bed, your body heat is the trigger. The eggs hatch almost instantly. These tiny, tiny larvae then burrow right into your skin, and you feel nothing. It's totally painless. And for the next 8 to 12 days, it just hangs out under your skin, growing, breathing through that little hole we talked about. Then, when it's all grown up, it literally just pops out, falls to the ground, and goes on with its life. Wild. Right, so you might be thinking, well, I just won't go to that specific place. The problem is, this is becoming a global issue. The Tumbu fly might be native to one part of the world, but our modern age of travel has basically given it a passport to go anywhere. And you can really see its reach here. It's endemic, meaning it's just normally found there all across sub-Saharan Africa. That's its whole turf. But now we're seeing it pop up and establish itself in places like Portugal and Spain, finding little warm microclimates to survive. And then you have countries like the Netherlands, where every single case is imported. It's always a traveler coming back home with an unwanted guest. This is a huge headache for doctors and public health officials. And that brings us right back to the biggest problem. Think about it. If you're a doctor in, say, Amsterdam, how many times in your career are you going to see this? Probably never. You're going to see 1,000 staph infections for every one case of myiasis. So naturally, it gets misdiagnosed. And can you just imagine being that patient? You're taking antibiotics that do absolutely nothing, all while you can literally feel that something is alive and moving inside you. It's the stuff of nightmares. Okay, enough of this scary stuff. Let's talk solutions. How do you deal with this? If you're the unlucky person with this tiny squatter, how do you evict it? The good news is, for something so alarming, the solution is actually pretty straightforward. No crazy procedures needed. First things first, antibiotics are useless here. You're not fighting bacteria, you're fighting a bug. So the treatment is all about mechanical extraction. You have to get it out. Remember that little breathing hole, the punctum? The trick is to cover that hole with something thick, like petroleum jelly or oil. Basically, you suffocate it. This forces the larva to squirm its way up to the surface, looking for air, which makes it super easy for a doctor to just grab it with forceps and pull it out. It's like using a bit of biology against itself. Pretty clever. But honestly, the best treatment is prevention, right? So if you're traveling to a place where this fly lives, here's what you do. First, don't dry your clothes on the ground. Ever. If you have access to a tumble dryer, crank it up to high heat. That'll do the trick. But the absolute #1, gold standard, most effective method, iron your clothes. Iron everything, especially the seams, because that's where those little eggs love to hide. A hot iron is your best friend. And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? We live in this incredible age of high-tech medicine, but when it comes to the Tumbu fly, our best weapons are still the basics. It boils down to a doctor being observant enough to think, hey, this isn't a normal boil, and the simple, old-fashioned power of a hot iron. It's kind of amazing. Now, we put all this information together for this explainer using a Gemini deep search. And for those of you who really want to nerd out and get into the weeds of the clinical reports and all the primary sources, we've got you covered. We've linked the full Notebook LM document down in the description. It really makes you think, though. The Tumbu fly is just one example of a hidden traveler. In a world that's so interconnected, where you can have breakfast on one continent and dinner on another, it just makes you wonder, what else is crossing borders with us? What other parasites or diseases are just one flight away from showing up somewhere new? So if you found this explainer interesting, or maybe just a little bit creepy but informative, do us a favor and subscribe to the channel. And definitely drop a comment below. Let us know what you think, or if you have any questions. We love reading them. Thanks for joining us.